Hi guys, so my name is Chantel and I write over at intentionalhomeschooling.com and I'm also on Instagram. And I asked a little while ago how you guys like to consume content, and YouTube was a huge answer to the question. So today I wanted to share our favorite kindergarten resources, and I thought in addition to my normal blog post that I would write, I would also do a video to help those of you that prefer to view content in this way. So I'm surrounded by our favorite kindergarten content. So actually this is our first time homeschooling through kindergarten. My daughter actually went to school for kindergarten and then came home for grade 1. So my son will be our first homeschooled kindergartner. And we don't follow a curriculum at all. I view homeschooling as a lifestyle, but there are some things that we also work on throughout the year. My biggest focuses for kindergarten are that they learn how to read and just learn how to print properly and basic math. Those three are my main goals throughout the year. So starting with reading, my favorite resource that we use is Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. Now, I use this book for my daughter, even though she went to kindergarten. She actually learned to read at home. And it's definitely not the most riveting text. It's fairly boring and dry, but we spice it up a bit. We don't follow the script exactly word for word. We make up our own thing as we go along. And pretty much what I do is I just introduce the new letter sounds at the same time. And this is the story my son is now on. And then we go through and we read the story each time. So as it goes, it gets longer and longer. And it's just, I don't know, I find it's a very unique way of teaching kids sounds, like some sounds, like sheep. It shows that S and H are one sound by joining the letters together. And this process worked really well for my daughter, so we are going through it with my son. And I have no problem with taking a few weeks off or a few months off if we need. It's just kind of, we're going at our own pace, but following this as a guide. Something we do for practice to kind of reinforce what we've learned is these Usborne Very First Reading Program books. So this one is book 1. And it's a really neat program because what they do is the one side of the book has the words the adult reads, and then the other side is what the kid reads. So in the first book, it's pretty easy words, and then there is, I think, 15 levels in the series, and it goes eventually, I think about midway through, the kids are reading the entire book themselves. So this is book 1, and then book 2 is very similar level, and they just introduce a few different letter sounds each time. So I find this is a way to practice reading without beating ourselves over the head again and again because the books are so boring. So that is mostly our reading. For writing, let's see here. Once again, I like the Usborne. This is their Wipe Clean Alphabet book that I've had for years and years. So we use this quite a bit just for some practice. This is a really good church activity book as well, because you can just erase it and use it over. And this one, this is Handwriting Without Tears. I bought this for my daughter. This is, I think, actually the grade 1 book. I bought it for her when she was in grade 1 and she didn't go very far in it. I actually don't remember why we quit, but my son has started, and he very much struggles with fine motor. So we are taking it slow and just trying to work on improving at this point. So reading, writing. We also do a little bit of writing just in this exercise book. So it's the kind that has the space on top for a picture and then the lines on the bottom. We haven't done much in here yet, but he's starting to do some drawing and some printing. And then here, there's just some different strokes that we need to practice, like working on circles. He really struggles with like V's and W's and the pointiness of those, so we're working on just learning the angles for that and straight lines. So just something extra practice in there. Another one of our favorite resources that we use a lot is just magnetic letters. I got these from the Dollar Tree. It's $1.25 for a set with the full alphabet plus a couple of extra letters. And I have a couple packs of them. My son really likes to learn how to read by asking me how to spell things. So we use these quite a bit, and I'll ask him to spell a word, or he'll ask me to spell a word. And then, yeah, so that's just fun extra practice. And then as far as math goes, we like the linking cubes. We use them a lot, especially when we were learning place value. And they're good for working with tens and ones. And then it's just also a physical for learning basic addition, you know, with what's 3 plus 2. Just a good tactile way to learn that. And then dominoes are also a good math thing that we like to use. So my son has just started going and learning that 2 plus 3, and then he counts them and he learns that that's 5. So great for basic math. And then you can also do matching as well, like with dominoes. So here's a 3 and then you match another 3. In addition, just got kind of one more thing left here. Brain Quest. We have the cards and the workbook as well. So we really like the cards. Hey buddy. Do you want to come here for a second? Okay, you want to sit with me? Come sit.
Should I read the Brain Quest cards?
Here, just come sit. What's this guy's name? What's his name? Yeah, can you say it louder?
Ryan the Lion.
Ryan the Lion.
I want to play talking with the Ryan.
Okay, so the Brain Quest cards, they have a variety of different subjects. And this one says, what's Ryan going to do next?
He's gonna dive into the water.
Oh, you know, he's gonna dive. And it says, count all the flowers. How many do you see? Do you want to count them?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9.
So there's questions on the front, and then the next page has the answers. You got them right. So it just kind of goes over all the different subjects, and it's a good way to see if there's something in particular that we need to focus on a little bit more. And the workbook, we've had a couple different brands of workbooks in the past, and the Brain Quest ones are by far our favorite because they're just so exciting and colorful and enjoyable to look at. He went through and he picked his favorite, some pages that jumped out at him that he wanted to do. You have to help the ghost find the golfer. Ooh, he's gonna scare him. So it just goes through the subjects as well. It's got ABCs, phonics, spelling and vocabulary, 1, 2, 3s, shapes and colors, patterns, sorting and matching, time and money, community, science, and fun and games. Here, I'm just gonna show a bit more. So this one is in the 1, 2, 3s. You have to count things and then rate the numbers. This is shapes and colors, matching and sorting, patterns. So it's just a nice overview. Helps us kind of see what we need to focus on, or if we just want to do a page for fun, that's fine too. We don't go through it front to cover, front to back at all. Just do our own thing. And I think that is it for our favorite resources for kindergarten, which technically he's not starting kindergarten until fall if you follow the school calendar, but because we don't really and he's ready and interested, then we've started now. If you have any questions about any of the resources or anything, let me know and I will try to answer them. That's the book you have, yeah. Okay, do you want to say bye?
Bye.